I look for controversies about Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah.
This is the biggest controversy.
So I was
BlackBerry
basically
with him.
Yeah, this
BlackBerry
was BlackBerry.
Storm.
That's how long ago it was.
Oh, wow.
I had a BlackBerry. So I was sitting on a couch like this, right? And there was a bunch of cameras all over the place, and they were filming all kinds of things on the Queen Mary. And I was just in the corner sitting on the couch, and I had my phone, and I pulled out my phone, and I just kind of started like, I was doing this, and I was just kind of and I guess I was looking down a little too long, and next thing I know, I look up, and the camera's right in my face. And the guy goes, "What do you got there, Gabriel?" I'm like, "Oh." They're like, "Is that a cell phone?" Mother, like, yeah. And then the guy just like, and then so I handed over the phone. I was like, "Mother, God damn it." I got popped. And they made it a big old thing. They brought legal down. I guess I had broken some rules by doing that.
And that's it, you're out. Do you perform that night?
No, they let me stay on the show an extra 3 days because they planned this whole thing to do a roast on me, and so they didn't want to lose out on that. So they allowed the show to continue for a few more days, and then all of a sudden we need to have a meeting, and we've talked to legal, and you got to go. Yeah, and I made history for being the first Mexican ever deported off TV. It was pretty cool. And then I had a lawyer who was like, "Yeah, we'll get you back on," and it just turned into a big old thing, and it worked out.
It blew you up from there too, right? I mean, the show probably really helped.
I mean, again, attention's attention on TV, and I was featured as a comedian, and my face was out there, and so even though I got the boot, people were talking about the fact. Still, 20 some odd years later, people are still talking about the fact that I got booted off the show. Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
And you lost a ton of weight too recently, right?
I found it.
Oh no. I heard you lost 100 pounds.
You know what? My heaviest I weighed was a little bit shy of 450.
Okay.
And right now I'm about 350.
That's great.
I'm still a big dude. But yeah, it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. And I've done yoga. I've done different types of exercise and workouts to get there. Right now I'm just kind of just laying low.
You should come to yoga with us.
I gained a bunch of weight, and then COVID hit, and then I was able to get a personal trainer during that time I was home, and I lost like 70 pounds during that time. And then I went back on the road, and now we're here. Yeah.
The road is the worst.
I sit on the couch. That's all I got to say. With another person. Just be clear.
A lot of meat and cheese.
A lot of meat and cheese. A lot of meat and cheese.
The road is the worst for eating.
It is, and I'm making a lot of excuses. I know it's me. I've been able to manage everything in my life with exception to the eating.
Right.
That's the hardest thing in the world for me to do. I can get up on stage in front of 50,000 people, no problem. No problem. And if I had to, I could hand out gifts in a humorous manner if I had to. But man, this meat and cheese thing.
Meat and cheese.
I'm just dealing.
It's your kryptonite.
It is my kryptonite.
Dang, dude.
It is.
Birria tacos?
Say it again?
Any birria?
Birria.
Birria. Those are fucking kryptonite.
If you can't say it, I can't talk.
Birria.
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 Yeah, you got
Birria.
You're Mexican.
Hey, I'm a quarter.
Oh, cool.
You're a quarter?
I'm a quarter
I'm more
Mexican.
Mexican than you.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, wow.
But I act more Mexican than you.
Yeah, you do, actually. And you also look more Mexican than me.
Thank you.
I want to hear this. What are the pieces? What are
The
you?
pieces? So my mother, she's half Italian, half Mexican.
Okay.
And then my dad's just white.
Wait a second. Jason, did you just call up the only two Mexican guys you know? Is that what this is? You're like, I just need some...
This is
I
what
didn't
happened.
realize.
I told my friend David Dobrik that you were coming. I just said it offhand. He's like, who's coming on the podcast? I go, Gabriel Iglesias. He goes, what? He goes, Fluffy? And I go, yeah. So then I was like, all right, well, probably because I'm friends with all younger guys because of YouTube. So then I called these guys up, and they were fans too. You just happened to be Mexican.
Sure we did. Oh, sure. Yeah, we just happen to both have...
to be Mexican.
My last name's Calvillo. Well, I didn't know you were Mexican at all.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I took my dad's last name, but my mother is Mexican and Italian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the one guy in the room that actually does look Mexican is probably like what, Middle Eastern? What are you? Indian? What's the deal, bro? Indian. See, look at that.
I thought you were Mexican too.
No way.
Yeah, really. I really thought I did.
Oh, he's Indian.
Oh, I didn't know, dude.
We got a lot of fake
Yeah, so
Mexicans
I'm
in here.
looking around the room like, okay, everybody's mixed. You're half Italian, half Mexican, half white.
Are you Lebanese?
White.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm a quarter Middle Eastern, actually. I did the DNA thing. And it came out 75% Caucasian, 25% Middle Eastern.
Caucasians.
Yeah,
Caucasian.
everybody's a little bit mixed up.
Yeah.
You're what, half Mexican, half Jamie Kennedy?
I have never
heard. I've been friends with him for 10 years. I've
Jimmy
never
Kennedy?
heard that.
Yeah.
That's great.
You're the second
Jamie
person to say.
Kennedy.
He's the second person to say that.
Second person?
I walked in. I was like, hey,
Holy shit.
You're like, ah, damn. It's not Jamie Kennedy.
hi, Jamie. Jamie's cool people.
Who do I look like?
You look like a homeowner, bro. You look like someone that could afford a $7 million house.
I can't. We'll see how this podcast does.
But it's $2 million.
yeah, it's falling off the hill. Who does he look like?
Well, I'm half Italian, half Mexican, half white. That's a whole lot. So I guess, where did you learn? Yeah, so a lot of. Do you know more Italian than Spanish?
No, I know more Spanish than Italian.
Okay.
Not much Spanish, though. I'm
much
working at
Spanish.
Duolingo. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Good start.
Don't embarrass yourself. Todd's our best looking friend.
No, that's not true. I take pride, and I sound like the guy from Duolingo.
All right.
¿Cómo estás?
Como está?
Bien.
Y tú?
That's good, dude.
Yeah,
Here's
Oh,
all
that's funny. Yeah, is that how it goes?
that's how he sounds.
Yeah, that was my
great.
quarantine thing. Was trying to learn Spanish. I did it for about 2 days and just gave it up.
He did.
My dad was so proud. He's like, "Oh, you're doing Duolingo. That's good." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How much Spanish do you know?" I'm like, "Un poco." And then he's just like, "All right."
He's like, no, that's your dick.
Yeah. right, exactly.
Didn't your dad speak it to you growing up?
He did, but my mom. So my dad's Mexican. He's from Mexico, and my mom's from Orange County, and she was like, "Oh, you don't have to teach him that. He's never going to need to learn that." I was like, half of my family fucking speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so my dad spoke it around me, but he never like taught me it. But I couldn't understand it too. Like, you
¿Entiendes lo que
can.
te estoy diciendo?
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And it's
Something about
funny
the
because
home?
usually that's the case where you understand, but you're always taught from a young age. Shut up and listen. Don't talk while others are talking. And so you're just sitting there and they're just talking to you.
Yep.
And you're not supposed to reply. And if you do, it's more like, sí, okay, bueno. You're like one word answers and they're like, he's a good boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Good boy. So like, yeah, I could totally understand and listen in on conversations and understand what everybody was talking about, but I could not. I'd sound like him whenever like I start talking, with the wording. It's just because I still think in English.
Yep.
And so that you got to translate it and then say it, unless I'm talking about food, and then it flows.
Spills right out.
My favorite
Yeah.
thing that Brandon talks about is he'll talk about how his dad like literally like risked his life to cross the border, and then Brandon spends his days making TikToks.
Fought for a good cause, dude. You really risked it all for a good cause.
He's like really funny. He makes like really funny.
Like if he knew,
TikTok.
then,
Yeah, if only he knew.
If he knew,
If he knew who.
I am going to do this for my family, para mi familia.
I'm doing TikTok
And then
dances.
fast forward to him doing a Chewbacca video. All right, and post.
Oh, man.
Los niños.
Yeah, dude.
Niños, mi familia. Mío.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your like day to day like now? You're just always on the road.
Day to day, I'm always on the road.